Hey, so this is like a weird, not normal video, but it's more of just like, kind of like a real update. Like, I know I've given updates as like a funny thing before, but I've never really, it's always more of like, an update with a funny, upbeat thing, but this, I guess, is just more of an update. Realistically, I want to say, like, I'm sorry that, because, I really do, I really do want to make content, and I really do want it to be consistent. It just seems like every time I try to do stuff like that, things kind of get in the way, which is part of life. We gotta get through that stuff, and we gotta, work around it, and I'm really trying to, but, I know it hasn't been consistent. There's some big gaps happening, and everybody's like, what is happening? Just stuff going on. My grandma got COVID, so that was worrisome for a while. Lot of emotion really gets to me. Specifically depression will really hit me, and there doesn't always have to be a reason, but that's really a big factor in slowing me down from doing stuff or stopping me from doing things. I've also just lost a lot of what was really the core foundation of what my life was revolving around has been changed very drastically. Having Jeremy step away was very, very difficult for me. And, you can't ever expect anybody to be fully committed. If they don't want to go the same direction as you, you got to be okay with that. I really thought that it was going to go differently. I'm sure everyone did at one point or another. And none of this is a dig or like me trying to crap on anybody or say that they're wrong, or because they're not. But that was really hard, and I don't really lead on to it because I didn't want him to get shit for it, and I still don't. So please don't shit on Jeremy. He didn't do anything wrong. It's just hard on me, and it's not his fault, and there was no big fight or anything. I really mean that. It just went a way that we weren't expecting it to. But for me, it was really difficult because that was where a lot of my importance lied, where a lot of my meaning kind of was coming from, and where a lot of my purpose was coming from, was streaming like that. So for a while I was really in the dark of what to do. And then of course I picked up the YouTube thing again, and I started feeling really good about it there for a week or two, and I still do, and I still want to keep doing this. And then I had a falling out with some really close friends who really, the best way to sum it up was I just really thought we were all a lot closer than we were. It was the best way to sum that all up would just to say it was very different than what any of us thought it was, especially me. I get very attached very quickly, and I'm not good at change. So when stuff happens and people get close to me, I kind of set my life in stone around that, and I just make a lot of plans or mental images that they're just going to be there forever. So then when they aren't, it really affects me. And this, I really don't know what happened. I kind of just got blindsided with the fact that I was very not liked within this group. And then before I knew it, I was completely kicked out of this group. And nobody really said anything. I was causing problems that I didn't know or mean to cause with the way I deal with things, which I understand is very different from how a lot of people deal with things. I deal with things always through humor and making jokes and just pretending like everything's fine and funny so we can laugh it off and move on and not like really let it rule every bit of my mind power. And that's a lot for a lot of people, and that's understandable. And it just was something that kind of happened slowly and wasn't really talked about, and by the time it was brought up and talked about, it was already really bad. And so that kind of ended that friendship, sadly. And I had a lot of things built around that, and a lot leaning on this group and not leaning on myself as a person. And then most recently on Valentine's Day, my cat passed away. So, you know, he was very sick the night before. The night of the Super Bowl, he was very sick. Around 6 o'clock, he started getting sick. So we decided we were going to take him to the vet on Valentine's Day morning. And I went and I watched the Super Bowl with my friends, and then I went back home to see him. And I pet him a little bit, just checked in on how he was doing. And then I went back out, and I came home on Valentine's Day to get ready for work in the morning, and my mom was very upset, and I kind of knew what had happened before she told me, and I really didn't know how to react to that kind of thing. It's always hard to lose a pet, of course. It's hard to lose anything. I didn't really know how to react, you know. I got to see him before he got taken away and everything, so that was really nice, and I'm glad they let me see him. But you know, it's crazy how much care you can put into like pets and animals like that. You know, things that can't really talk to you, but you can have such a deep relationship with on you know, like the more I think about it, that cat that I just happened to find in my yard as a little baby, like just a wild cat who wouldn't have been able to survive on his own. It was like really the only super consistent thing in the past 6 years of my life that was just always around. You know, obviously he didn't have a choice. He didn't, you know, he was an indoor cat. But yeah, it really is tough. You feel like, you know, you should have done more or should have done something differently. But, you know, there's really nothing we could have done. I'm glad he didn't suffer. He was only sick for 5 or 6 hours before he passed. And, you know, I know he had a much better life than he would have if I would have just let him go. He was like a tiny, tiny kitten when I first found him. If I can find pictures, I'll put them in this video. He was very tiny when we first found him, and like they had run off or their mother had gotten killed or something. We don't know, but they definitely were with a mom when we found him. And there was one other one that we couldn't get, who ran away before we could get to him. But Milo, my cat, was the one who we were able to get, and we took him in, and he had a great life, you know, got the best food and treats, and had an awesome cat tree. And he had a brother that we found another cat on the road one day and took him in. His name is Boots. He had the best brother. But just loss is like something that I'm worst with. I suck so bad at loss. Losing anything is my biggest fear. People, friendships, cats, anything. And it was just a lot of loss back to back that I wasn't ready for. It's not even necessarily like certain people's faults. It's, you know, people move on, they move away, they get married, they go to college, they find a girlfriend. I am just bad at it, and it really affects me more than I ever let on to. And I don't even know if I'll even post this or where this will go, because I don't like talking about it and seeming weak. I find most joy in being there for people who need someone to be there, or need something to be there, whether it be some stupid fat guy on the internet who makes silly videos that makes them laugh, or whether it be a best friend who you just go to with all your worries and stuff. Like, I really do get the most joy in life out of doing that for people. And so for me to come on here and be really sad to you guys, I don't want it to like rub off, or any of you guys to feel sad. The reason I would, you know, I would put something like this out there is more of just I am also human. I'm not this unbreakable, cool, awesome comedy genius like I appear to be. I really go through a lot in terms of depression and mentally, and I know in terms of the world and what some people have to go through daily, my life is so great. I have the best life ever, and I realize that, and I'm not trying to come on here and be like, oh, boo-hoo, my sob story, it really is such a struggle for me, because it isn't. But there are things that I do struggle with, and loss and losing and moving on and change are some of the biggest ones. I don't really know if this video has a point other than to just be an update and to just be me being transparent. I guess also as an apology for not being consistent, because I really want to be, and it isn't, you know, it's a lot to keep up with, but it isn't like this big burden that I'm, you know, like I want to make content, I want it to be consistent. So sometimes things come up, and I apologize that it affects the content. I mean, I know we're not getting like millions or thousands or even hundreds of views or anything, like, but to the, you know, 10, 15, 20 people who watch the videos, like, I feel bad that I, you know, like, I want to be there and, you know, make you guys laugh and support you guys the way you have shown me support and love, and so I feel bad sometimes. I really appreciate all the support and all the people who check in on me, and all the people who have been really understanding with how I kind of just fell off the grid. We went from streaming all the time and posting and being in everybody's stream to me going solo to almost kind of getting to a regular schedule on YouTube to just kind of being gone again. You know, life is tough sometimes, and we all have our struggles. But I want you guys to know I'm not giving up. And I'm okay. This isn't a, oh, feel bad for me, oh, check in on me, oh, boo-hoo, let's blah, blah. It's not like that. This is more of just a transparent apology, a transparent update, and me telling you that I'm not done. I'm not giving up. It's not like the 2 or 3 weeks I posted videos there, then I'm just like, bored of it again. But most importantly, if you get anything out of this video, if you don't care about the upload schedule or what's going on in my life, just know that if you're also going through a tough time, because everyone does sometimes, that it'll be okay. And that I promise, no matter how much you think it might not be a good idea to stick around for it, or it might not get better, it will. Even if the situation that you're currently going through doesn't get better, you will find a way to make life better and to better equip yourself to deal with things like that. I heard a quote in an interview, like not even that long ago, 3 or 4 months ago, but it has really helped me since then. And it's, "This too shall pass." You know, it applies to everything. You know, you're really going through a hard time, you're really struggling with stuff, you feel like the world's ending, this too shall pass. And if you can't do anything else, just wait, and things will get better. It applies the other way though too. You know, you think you know everything, you think everything's going great, you think nothing can ever stop you, this too shall pass. And you know, I've thought about that, and I've told myself that a lot over the past couple months, and it really is something that has changed the way I look at things and just gotten me to get through the tough days. You know, it's okay to feel it, it's okay to be sad, it's okay to cry, it's okay to be depressed, but just hold on, and we'll all get through this together. Okay? Alright. I'll see you guys soon with more videos. I love you guys. Bye.